All right, so I'm here with Doug Karr from DK New Media, and I just have a few questions to ask you, and just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on some social media and digital strategy in general for your company. Tell me a little bit about yourself and about DK New Media.
Okay. Doug Karr, author of Corporate Blogging for Dummies. See, they're all right there.
There we are.
Corporate Blogging for Dummies helped actually start up Compendium, which is a blogging company here out of Indianapolis. Have been blogging for a long time on the marketing technology blog. I think I've been blogging for about 6 years now, which isn't a veteran blogger like some folks. But that's a long in blog years. It's
a long time.
That's a long time, and have a tremendous following on there. We probably get about 40,000 unique visitors a month on that blog, and it's a very, very centered. I don't worry about the numbers so much, but the core of it is CMOs and directors of marketing, DK New Media is basically the agency that I built up once I saw that blogging. I worked for ExactTarget with email and Compendium from a blogging standpoint. And started doing a lot of SEO and pay-per-click and all of these different vehicles. And what we saw was there was a gap in the industry as far as people that understood how to put all the pieces together and kind of conduct, Forrester calls it an omni-channel approach to marketing. And so what DK New Media basically is we do some totally outsourced CMO, like a CMO for hire for some companies where they just don't have any resources. And then for other companies like, Cha-Cha, we're a trusted advisor that helps them. For folks like Web Trends, it's kind of a hybrid where we do a lot of the work, but they have incredible marketing minds internal. And our job is basically to prove ROI to our clients. So what we do more than anything else is inbound marketing, setting up analytics properly, getting a wholesale approach to this, adding a piece at a time, and then always showing them that you're getting a return on investment. Here's how to measure it. Here's how to measure it. And I think that's a differentiator in the industry that a lot of social media, especially a lot of folks don't actually go for the ROI. They go for, we have 400 followers.
Right.
What does that mean?
Most companies now realize that they need to utilize social media in their marketing plans. Twitter, Facebook, blogging, things like that. What do you feel is the most effective medium for reaching consumers?
Ooh, that's a good question. We tend to stray away from that question and more go, let's figure out where the audience is. So some of our clients, the audience is on Facebook, so that's where we want to meet them. But then there's advantages and disadvantages of that platform too. So maybe your audience is there, but are they ready to buy? Are they really ready to engage with your business? I think we tend to back up and go a different route, and we say, let's test all the mediums. Let's test Twitter, let's test LinkedIn, let's test Facebook, let's test blogging, let's test all these things and start to measure what the reaction is. And over time, start to hone in and say, okay, we're getting more out of this, so let's start investing more there. So I don't know if that answers the question or not, but, B2B clients sometimes gravitate towards LinkedIn more. Our small businesses tend to do really well on Twitter. Large businesses that have a large following, sometimes can get traction in Facebook. So it all depends on what the mix is.
Okay, great. Quick follow-up about blogs that you mentioned. How important are blogs to a digital strategy?
Yeah, blogging's dead.
Yeah.
We hear that.
You
all
hear
the
that?
time. I think there's people from outside the industry that think blogging is dead because they can't even recognize what a blog is anymore. Right. A typical website that has a blog, it just looks like a website. People don't even realize. Blogging it's the engine to the car. like I feel that it did what the production line did for Henry Ford. You know, that now we're able to take and put out content as often as we want and represent it well in social, in search, maybe integrated to other platforms, syndicated out through other mediums, even in email, and do it really effectively and do it with minimal effort.
Right.
So I tend to look at blogging when clients culturally are able to blog.
Right.
You know, when they have the resources, when they have the time, when they have the patience, you know, because it's a momentum game that's a long-term strategy. Blogging winds up becoming a real centerpiece to the strategy that people are coming from Twitter to the blog to a call to action to a landing page, and then, you know, coming into the company or Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. And it winds up being that blog typically that, you know, a unique post that's relevant to a specific person at the right time that winds up drawing them in. So it's a centerpiece for, you know, it's definitely a centerpiece for DKD Media. You know, Marketing Tech Blog is our, you know, that's the center of the universe for everything we're doing.
Yeah. You know, you definitely come from a technical background. I mean, obviously knowing a lot of code and things like that. What are some things, or maybe even just one thing, that you wish organizations knew or understood about social media metrics and tracking and ROI and things like that?
You know, I mean, I've always spoken about social media as an amplifier, and blogging is part of social media too. You know, I think we tend to now differentiate and say, well, there's blogging and there's social media because social media is Twitter and Facebook. No, it's, you know, it's all one thing, but social media is really an amplifier in the industry. So when you look at like how what PR accomplishes, right? And I'm a proponent of having a PR firm. We have one for ourselves. They amplify the message. You do something special, and then you get the word out where the audiences are and where people care about it. And with social media, that's exactly what I see too, is companies that have this great foundation and they have information that people want to know about and things that people will be amazed about. When they utilize social media to get that message out, it just amplifies it and it gets it into the right hands and where people can react and come back. That's the biggest thing. I don't think it's. I think a lot of people are making the mistake of thinking there's social media and then there's email and then there's this and all these silos. And social media isn't something that you know, hire an intern to do a tweet for you.
Right.
You know, social media is something that has to be integrated into everything you're doing. When we put out a press release for one of our clients, we have an integrated social media campaign for that to measure results. When we do email, you know, we're promoting social media in our email, and then we're also promoting our email with social media, you know, to get retention. So it's a cog in a whole machine, you know, and too many people just think of it as an isolated piece.
Right.
I'm just going to blast, you know, out social media, not monitor, not react, not measure.
Right.
And then they look at it and they go, this was a big waste of time. We're not getting any results.
Yeah.
Well, of course you're not getting results. So.
Right. What do you think is new on the horizon in social and digital media? You know, is it location-based networks, which is kind of the big thing last year? Is it QR codes, which is becoming bigger now? Something else? You know, what do you see as kind of the next big thing?
I've got a kind of unique view on QR codes because I think we're already getting to recognition, you know, beyond character recognition. We're already getting to logo recognition and everything else. You look at like you know, things like Layer, LAYR, you know, where since it's geosensitive and you spin it around, it absolutely can identify landmarks and, you know, provide data on that. So I think QR codes are kind of a short-lived, brief thing. I think eventually you'll be able to just point at someone's logo on their shirt and point your camera at it, and you're going to get all the information on the website and everything else instead of having to get, you know, through a code. Geolocation is of course huge. You know, my hopes as a sophisticated marketer, I think I'm one, is that we stop going after eyeballs. We've been learning more and more and more that, even with our clients, we have one client that we've dropped traffic on their site, and they're getting greater conversions, and it's because they were getting a lot of bad visitors. And
right.
Even when you say that, people tremble. We've dropped traffic to their site.
Yep.
People go, oh my God. But the analytics field is really, I just got back from Web Trends Engage in San Francisco, and the analytics field is finally catching up where they're looking at offsite, what's happening offsite that's leading to onsite conversions and leading to actual business. And so, to me, the next big thing, if you will, is finally the opportunity for marketers to not have to code and automate and shift and do all this stuff. We're finally going to have true plug-and-play systems that work well with communicating with one another. Facebook has kind of opened their back door with Web Trends to get analytics into their platform. Bitly has worked with them. They have mobile SDKs, so whether you're on an app on an iPhone or whether you're visiting the Facebook page, they're going to be able to show what your interaction is and target and present different material to you. So to me, it's all of the silos that we have right now. That's the problem in the industry. Is we have, as a marketer, you have to make a decision where you're going to spend your time every day.
Right. And
we keep adding things to your plate. Mobile app and Twitter and this and that.
Right.
And, we should do QR codes, and we should do this, and we should, it's unmanageable. And I think finally we're getting to a point where we have app platforms that now, with Web Trends has their own app platform. If you go to the site, you can build your own polling app for Facebook. You don't have to code anything.
Yeah.
You just drag and drop and build it and publish it. And I think finally marketers are finally getting tools. We talked about ExactTarget and the Marketing Hub and the ability to automate and what's coming out there. We're finally getting tools that allow us to not have to hire third-party developers and invest hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're finally getting tools that really bridge the gap. And the goal, of course, is that we're not fighting for SEO dollars or social dollars or email dollars.
Right.
It's that, I can finally invest in a package that does 14 things for me, does it well, measures the results, and gives me what I need. So that's kind of the exciting thing that I see on the horizon.
That's really interesting. I think you're the first person I've talked to who has basically said the democratization of code is kind of the next big thing, and I think it's just really interesting. I haven't heard that before, but I can definitely see that as something that, like you said, there is a lot of stuff that's coming out where you don't have to learn HTML anymore. You don't have to learn PHP.
Yeah.
You can actually just do more, pulling in what you need, and then the code just creates itself for you.
Right, and we need to be there.
Yeah.
The investment, we're moving so fast, right? I was talking to a company that when mobile apps came out, they hired 45 developers to develop their mobile app platform, and within a year, they backed that down to 5 people, and the mobile app wasn't really used.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody said mobile app. The CEO got an iPhone.
Yep. Absolutely.
And so they make this massive investment, and it was all for naught. And so to me, the exciting part is that, wait a second, I can go buy maybe a platform license for $5,000-$10,000 as a business, and I get all of these pieces. We were talking about a Primo. That's 6-digit investment, but I don't have to go out and get an analytics partner and an email partner and a website partner and a content management system and I just buy one system and I get an Eloquence there too. Those are that to me is the next wave, and that's where we see local companies like ExactTarget really churning and burning right now. Is they have CodeSuite and they have email. now how do we do this marketing hub? How do we automate communications? How do we measure it all in one place?
Right. Making it easier for the marketer to do their job.
Yeah, and you're one of those marketers.
Yeah.
You're excited about it too.
Absolutely.
So am I. Because I think we've been marketers also tend to work in their area of expertise. If you've been doing email for 10 years, guess what? When you need more prospects, you go send more emails.
Right.
Do something different. And finally having these tools where you have options on what you want to do, and you can test and see what the results are. Real tests, not throw a tweet out there and see what the
see people respond. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the next wave for us.
Okay. Do you have any final thoughts? Anything you want to add at all? Any way for people to get in touch with you if they're interested in working with you?
Well, of course, dknewmedia.com and the marketingtechblog.com. Be sure to sign up for the newsletter. We're giving away a ton of stuff, including iPad, and it'll be an iPad too. I won't be chintzy and give my old iPad away so I can upgrade. But Marketing Tech Blog has really evolved. We've got videos now. We've got a radio show every Friday at 3 o'clock. You can tune in on iTunes and subscribe to us. The newsletter is unique content, so that goes out usually every Monday. And if you're a marketer and you have a great story you want to get out, pitch it. We'll put it up there on Marketing Tech Blog too. We've got, I think, 60 bloggers now.
Wow.
I still do the majority of the blogging on the site, but it's becoming quite a centerpiece for marketers to get inspiration and assistance. So that's it.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for your time, Doug.
Yeah, you bet.